The all-new Ferrari 488 Pista is the most powerful V8 in the prancing horse's history. And that's quite something, if you consider that it's built its fair share of powerful V8 engine cars in the past.
So I come to you today in the hallowed grounds of Fiorano in Maranello. And I'm here on behalf of Siddharth because, well, driving a Ferrari for a friend is the least that I could do. Now, anytime you talk about a Ferrari or the 488 GTB, for instance, the 488 Gran Turismo Berlinetta or Grand Touring Coupe, speed comes up at some point in the conversation. But we're here to talk about the 488 Pista. Now, Pista stands for racetrack, so you can be sure that speed is an integral part of the equation.
Suffice to say, this is a fast car. Well, it does have the word track in its name, since Pista means track in Italian.
So the Pista is the latest in a long line of very special V8 Ferraris. The 360 Challenge Stradale, the 430 Scuderia, the 458 Speziale, and now the 488 Pista. Now, this is a Ferrari for those of you who are a little bit more picky. Now, 488 is fast enough, but this one has 50 more horsepower, 10 more Nm of torque. It does 0 to 100 in 2.85 seconds versus a fairly mediocre 3 seconds for the 488 GTB. So why am I standing here talking to you? Let's get in and drive this baby.
The 488 Pista, with its 3.9-litre twin-turbo V8, generates a scarcely believable 711 bhp and 770 Nm of torque. Ferrari put the 488 on a strict diet to produce the Pista, yielding a weight savings as much as 90 kilograms.
Right, so we are starting off in the hills around Maranello, and it is an absolutely beautiful day. Well, it's beautiful right now. We're supposed to head to the track later on in the afternoon, and it's scheduled to rain, so fingers crossed. But what I can tell you to start with is that getting here, we've driven through some small Italian towns and villages. And the first thing that strikes you about this car is how absolutely incredibly usable it is.
The manifold of the exhaust is also race car-like and made of Inconel pipes, rather than cast iron like the GTB. This not only unlocks more power and reduces weight, but it also leads to a better exhaust noise. The only giveaway that this is a turbocharged motor from the driver's seat is the spooling of the turbos that you hear under acceleration. Otherwise, Ferrari's variable torque management does its job perfectly and ensures that this feels like a naturally aspirated motor. The 7-speed dual-clutch box feels like the best gearbox on the planet at the moment. It's just so responsive that it's almost telepathic.
There's an amazing amount of carbon fiber in the bodywork, inside the car, in the engine bay, the works. But the thing that strikes you the most about this car to begin with is the S-duct right in the front. Everything in this car is a case of form follows function. everything has been sculpted not only by the designers but also by the aerodynamicists. Now the S-duct is a patented Ferrari design where it takes in air from the front of the duct, and it's got a little winglet in front as well. It's amazingly intricate, inspired by Formula One. It takes in air and then ducts it through the front of the car, over the bonnet, and then flows over the rest of the car. Now what that does is creates an amazing amount of downforce in the front of the car. The incredible thing though is that they've been able to create that additional downforce without any compromises. So there's no additional drag. There's a lot more downforce without the penalty of additional drag.
The track session began with 2 laps as a passenger with a Ferrari test driver, and then by allowing us in the driver's seat.
So the internals of this engine are 50% new. Now the engine that it's based on is no slouch either. International Engine of the Year winner in 2016 and 2017. This has just won International Engine of the Year in 2018. Speed is instant. Slow in, fast out growth. Come on. This is much better. The brakes are phenomenal. Revs are just unbelievable. Jesus wept the way it picks up speed. The levels of grip, the power, the brakes. It is addictive. Alright, let's hold the power a little bit longer now. Down to second. Let's go slow in and hold, carry the speed, carry the speed. Yes, much better. Full power on the brakes. Oof. Car goes light up the crest. Jesus, the speed is so accessible. Brakes are so strong. I'm not even trying CT off because I'm having so much fun in sport. Run it wide, carry the speed. We hit the limiter there. Brake. Woo! And that's my cue. Box and slow. What a machine. What an absolutely addictive speed demon.
Ferrari's new FDE, or Ferrari Dynamic Enhancer, works unlike a regular ESC system. So the FDE activates progressively and earlier, allowing you to heroically power slide out of corners without feeling like it's cut in at all. One of Ferrari's aims when developing the Pista was to ensure that it's easy to push to the limit. Well, it appears that this objective has been well and truly achieved. Like modern sports cars, the Pista 2 is clinical, but it's so incredibly fast that it makes it all worth it. More than that, it doesn't isolate you from the driving experience, it involves you, it flatters you. The biggest problem with the Pista is that once you've driven it, there's simply no going back. It's hard to imagine a machine being more precisely or better engineered than this. The Pista will run you 4.91 crore rupees when it's launched in India in November. So you better reach deep into your hip pocket if you want to have anything to do at all with the pinnacle of the motor car as we know it, that is.